boy.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you all. It's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Um, Before I start the show, I'm just going to give a little bit of a warning to most of the people who are watching. Hopefully, the internet is going to behave itself. It's raining a bit here, so I hope the internet is going to behave itself. But anyway, let's keep on. I don't think the internet is also doing great, to be honest. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try anyway. So, look, before we start, I just wanted to say a few things. Number one, if Pep Guardiola is your Lord and personal savior, please just don't watch this because it's not going to be great for you. If Pep Guardiola, you have his pictures and his posters all over your room, and you think Pep Guardiola is your Lord and personal savior, please don't watch this because you might get hurt by the time the stream is done. Because today we're going to speak the truth. We're going to talk the truth. This has nothing to do with the draw against Everton. I've been saying this from the beginning that the team doesn't look right. Something isn't right. This has nothing to do with Arsenal being top because I still believe in the team. I believe in the manager, but I'm just giving you a few facts. As I said from the beginning, if Pep Guardiola is your Lord and personal savior, please just switch off now because you will unsubscribe by the time we're done with this. If Jack Grealish, you've got his nudes in your house, or you've got his posters or his shirts, and you love him so much more than the team, please leave now. If Riyad Mahrez is your hero, please leave now too, because end of the day, we're going to talk about everything. If you don't like the truth, leave now. So if you're staying here, that means you want to listen to what we're about to say. But today we're going to be very straightforward because I think the issue we have in general is we've got certain people who think just because maybe they attend football matches live at the Etihad, it means that other people cannot have an opinion. So if you're one of those people who think, oh yeah, just because somebody has never been to the Etihad or has never been to the stadium, I can't listen to what they are about to say. What they say is useless. Then maybe even leave now. Let's just leave now, because I don't want people crying. And another thing, let's make it better. If you feel that this video is too much for you, just unsubscribe. As I've told you from the beginning, and the beginning is, we don't really care about your subscriptions. If you are negative here, we only care about people who want to listen to the truth. And as I say, this channel says where your opinions matter. So let's start off. So basically, today's topics, there's a few of them. I'm just gonna read out the topics so that you can know exactly. So there's topics. We're gonna talk about the transfer window. We're gonna talk about the transfer window that happened in summer. Then we're gonna talk about the transfer window in January. We're going to talk about Jack and Riyad Mahrez. We're going to talk Mahrez and Jack Grealish. We're going to talk about both of them. Then we're going to talk about Pep Guardiola. That's number 3. Then we're going to talk about 2023 expectations of the team. Then we're going to talk about Alvarez and Foden. Then we're going to talk about Bernardo Silva. Then, if we have so much time after all these topics, we're going to talk about more things. So, for the people who are just joining us, the first topic is going to be about the transfer window. This transfer window and the transfer window that just left. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez. Then we're going to talk about Pep Guardiola. And then number 4, we're going to talk about expectations for 2023. Then we're talking about Alvarez and Foden. So, guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. It's a lovely morning. So, yeah, I don't know if my man Carl is here with me. I don't know if
good morning.
He's woken up. Yeah. Good morning,
Good
Carl.
morning. Just let everybody know what time. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, my time. So just everybody aware that we don't do this because we are looking for views or looking for money. We do it because we love each other and we love the club, and we have strong opinions, many of which you may not agree with, but it's the truth. We call it as it is, and you can decide based on what we say or don't say.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's big, as I said at the beginning, that if somebody thinks that Pep Guardiola is the Lord and Savior, this is the best time to just leave, because they will not like some of the things. So we're going to say that we're going to be fair at all. So let's start with the transfer windows, Carl. I have been reading so far from obviously the media and a few reliable sources saying, according to Man City, they think they have enough in that squad and there's no gaps to fill. They think they have the players that are required to carry this team to another title, to carry this team to win a Champions League, to carry this team to compete in sort of all competitions. Look, I'm going to start off with the window in summer. Man City did very incredible business. They sold a lot of youth players, made a lot of money, recouped a lot of money. If you are a net spend merchant, you are obviously twerking in your pajamas saying, oh my God, we won the net spend trophy, which used to be held by our rivals, Liverpool. Now City took that over, which was good business, Carl. And we were all very excited. And people like Alvarez came in. As you and me discussed about Alvarez, some people said Alvarez would never step in the first team. I remember we were very adamant, you and me, and said he'll come to the first team. We got people like Sergio Gomez. What a talent. He was one of the best players at the Under-17 World Cup behind Foden. This kid can play number 10. He can play all the front sides. He can play left and right winger. He can play CTM. And obviously, he's not really a natural left back, but company made him a natural left back. So the window was good. We had Phillips for 40 million, Carl, which was amazing. Phillips, which most people thought he's going to be 80, 70 million.
Yeah.
What an amazing window. Not forgetting only Phillips. A lot of things happened. We also bought a few people and sent them out on loan, and we loaned out a few players. So it was all Gucci at Man City. So what do you think, Carl? How do you rate that window of the summer?
The window was a 9 over 10. The window was a 9 over 10. I mean, listen, any window where you get Erling Haaland, Calvin Phillips, you get a guy who can play left back and number 10, you get Julian Alvarez, World Cup winner, into the club. It's a 9 over 10. There are very few clubs who've had better windows, frankly. And you have Erling Haaland for £51 million. Now, you understand that right now, Enzo Fernandez is going for 120 million to Chelsea. You had Erling Haaland for 51. So the window is fine. The problem, we don't need any signings in January. It makes it clear. In my opinion, we don't need any more signings in January. What we need is a reboot of the manager's brain and the player's brain. That's what we need. A reboot. Stop overthinking. Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid of being obsessed with control, and let these boys go play ball. That team is able to win anything and everything that they can.
Yeah. So basically, you were like, so we're just going to talk about this because we also have to talk about a few things. So you were okay for him to say, okay, Raheem, you want to go, you can go. Jesus, you want to go, you can go. I'm bringing in these players, Alvarez and the other players to replace you. Haaland, who is very clinical. Raheem, you can go. Can I ask you something? Because I think we haven't talked about this before, and maybe you give me a clear answer, and we're going to move on from the transfers because you say you don't see anything that we need in January. Obviously, myself, I think if in January, by some miracle, Kyle, in January, by some miracle, a natural left back walks in, or somebody who's a winger, we just pick them from somewhere who's very natural left-footed, comes in, I would be happy because just for me. But anyway, we're discussing between two people.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, though. I just wanted to ask you something. Do you care at all for City sending their players to Chelsea and Arsenal?
No,
I
don't
call
care.
myself sleeping giants.
Care.
Would you care? Or you say that was nothing? That was nothing. We can still.
It's irrelevant to me, right? The reason why we're not top of the league is not because we don't have the players. It's because we made some stupid substitutions and some stupid lineups. That's the reason why.
Okay, great. We're gonna get into that anyway.
Yeah, we get into that. But I mean, the only player I would take right now on the left-hand side for me in the world football right now is only one player. There's only one player, right? Leroy Sané. That's it. There's nobody else I can think about right now that I would take. Leao, he's inverted. He's a right foot on the left. The only natural left winger I would take right now that I would say yes is Leroy Sané. I can't think of anybody else I would take who's a natural lefty, who's explosive and dynamic on the ball, who runs like a thoroughbred horse on the ball. Leroy Sané. That's it.
So basically, you're telling me that, look, the market is limited, so we don't have to expect somebody else.
Give me one name. Give me a left winger who's natural left winger we can take. You can't take Martinelli. He's at Arsenal. He's not going to come. Right? Who's that Spurs son? Thought they're going to sell you to them. Right? The only person I would even consider of everybody that I think about, you want to take Vinicius Jr.? He's a right footer on the left side. Kylian Mbappe. Okay, maybe Kylian, but can you afford him?
I don't think Kylian Mbappe can come into this team. You know, Kylian Mbappe likes freedom. I don't think he can come to the City team with sort of much control that always do this, keep the ball. Mbappe wants to be given the ball and for him to cook. You know what I mean? But this team,
we've forgotten that the goal of the game is to score goals, not to control the game.
Yeah, we're gonna go into that. So anyway, so the transfer window, we can move away from it. Our second topic, guys who are joining us, as I said, we're going to be very straightforward here. Some people will not be happy with it, but let me just welcome the guys in the comments, Carl. We've got people in the comments. Some people are in the comments 2 days before, Carl. Red Devil Down Under says, I love you, Patrick. Love you too, man. Red Devil Down Under. No homo kind of way. Josh is funny. Not long to wait. I make coffee. So this was 2 days ago. People are still waiting. 2 days later. It's quite funny, Carl. People were having conversations before we even started the stream 2 days ago. Might need a shave before it starts. Been here ages. Hurry up, Patrick. This is gas. So Eddie's Football Waffle says, big up, Patrick. Go and subscribe to his channel. I like Eddie, man. He's a United fan, but I like his content. It's very different. And he speaks the truth. Yeah, that was me anyway. Anyway, so here is main stand. It says Nunes. YSK, I haven't seen you in a long time. You say morning, Big Pat, how you doing? Down under, Devil Down Under. YSK says he's gonna grab some popcorn. Yeah, grab some popcorn. We have just started. Big up to you, Chris. How you doing? I'm a United fan. I am here for the negativity as a United fan. Not much negativity, man. It's just truth. Don't smoke. I think you've just joined us just now. Patrick, if we were in you guys' position, I'll be happy. We are crap right now. Victor, I'll explain to you exactly why we are talking here. None of us are crying over the league or crying over things. We're just here to talk about certain things. Nobody here is here because of the draw of Everton or a few losses we've done. No, that we don't care about that. we are looking at a bigger picture. I think from the beginning, Carl, if you look at the streams, I was watching some of the streams, I kept on saying something isn't right in this team. I don't think we're ready. I'm going to clip it and put it on Twitter. One of the videos we did, I think it was one of the matches we played, we won, but I said, I don't think something is great here. I just felt, Carl, that time that, we're winning, but we're getting away with one. You know what I mean? I was like, this is not the Man City, and how we're playing is very predictable. But anyway, let's bring on Don't Smoke. Don't Smoke. Before we move to the Pep Guardiola topic, I just want to hear from Don't Smoke. Don't Smoke. What are your thoughts on the window? Do you think we need to do anything in this window, or you're satisfied with the team?
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Gundo.
I'm good, man. Good morning, man. I don't know if it's morning or night at your place. Yeah,
it's afternoon. It's 1 p.m. this side. Right.
Okay.
Regarding the window, the reality is we're not going to buy anyone. Right. Normally, when we buy in winters due to an injury or something like that. So the thing is, the issue with especially buying, because the two positions we need right now, it's left back and a winger, right?
Mm-hmm. Is it a winger that's left-footed or right-footed, or it doesn't matter?
No, it does matter, right? First things first is you need natural wingers, right? Before you can even convert them into inverted or whatnot. We don't have a left-footed winger or proper left-sided winger, right? We don't. Mm-hmm. We just shoehorning players both sides, right? The only natural winger we could say we have is probably Mahrez, who's the only winger that's left.
Mahrez is not even a winger. Don't Smoke. He's an inside
he's an
forward.
Inverted, but he's the closest. He's the closest.
He's saying it's the closest thing. He's trying to say it's the closest thing we have.
Yeah, you're right. To that profile, right? Especially Sterling was our only winger which we had, right? And we sold him, right? So now the thing is, I don't even think it's actually a player issue. We just have a selection issue. When you look at it,
thank you. We're gonna move into that. I just want you to focus on the window. Then we're gonna move into the next topic. We're going to talk about is the next topic is Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, we just
no. Honestly, the next topic is actually not Pep. The next topic is Jack and Riyad Mahrez. So you can actually, you know what, deep into it. Let's talk about Jack and Riyad Mahrez. Go ahead,
man. When was it? The game was on Saturday, I think, right? Against, I saw that lineup and I went out. I was like, I'm not gonna watch this shit, because I saw against Leeds that the only reason why we won is because we scored early and we scored more goals than Leeds, right? Because we very predictable. We've always said right. The reason why it worked against Leeds is because Leeds will give you space after you beat their press. There's space.
Thank you for saying that.
Against the low block, man, I told you, inverted wingers are easy to defend because everything is in front of you, right? The last thing fullbacks want is for you to take them down the line. And that's how we won against Villa when Sterling came on and he went down the byline and crossed the ball back. Against, they're gonna put and you see what's worse is this is nothing new. We know what we're gonna get against these teams in the league. It's not like new team that got promoted and we don't know how they play. We know what was gonna happen against Everton. And all they needed was one goal. They score a goal, game is done. They're gonna shut up shop with over 60 minutes. I've been crying for Palmer because I've been saying it ever since that Liverpool game. You saw what that kid gave us. When I saw Jack, and the thing is with this, you can't play Jack and Mahrez if you're not gonna have overlapping fullbacks.
Thank you. That's another thing. You know. Don't Smoke. Let me just say this before you say anything. This is what I said the other day. I was on a space. I said, this is not even Jack and Mahrez's fault. If you clock it, it's not Mahrez and Jack's fault because, first of all, they're not given the tools to work with. Because if you saw the game, Carl, I was talking to Carl, the game versus Everton, Jack and Mahrez were pointing at their fullback saying, run in front of me. You saw Jack pointing at Ake, isn't it? Run, give me space, like sort of give me an exit. It's because Jack knows I cut in, but I need a fullback to overlap. That's when Ake overlapped and then made a very dangerous cross, but there was nobody inside. So first of all, what's also amusing me is this, Don't Smoke and Carl. Pep is attacking in Lewis, right? I get the reason why. But if you're attacking in Lewis, you know Mahrez attacks in too. What's happening is we're just, as you're right, we're just down the middle. Guess what? If you go down the middle and you are narrow against that back five, they are so happy because they're not stretched. Keep on going, don't smoke.
It's a back nine, man. It's not even a back five. Another thing is this, right? If you wanna play, if you wanna play Jack and Mahrez, you have Walker back. At least play a Gomez, right? Because the thing is this: even if Ake overlaps, he doesn't have the final ball. That's dangerous.
Doesn't. Right? It doesn't. No, can he dribble?
Exactly. So the thing is this: whenever Ake plays, the instruction is you're gonna attack into a back three, right? He's not. He's more of a left-sided center back. It just and then Lewis. So the thing is, at the end of the day, for such games, I don't even blame the players. I blame the coach because you saw the previous game that this doesn't know. Hence I even said in the preview that at the end of the day, it's all going to be how stubborn Pep is in order to admit that no, this doesn't work and make a change early. And at the end of the day, man, football is not about sentiments, man. I was telling people, man, at the end of the day, if I was to pick us retaining the Premier League or having a Jack Grealish that's not confidence, I don't care about players' confidences if it doesn't translate to trophies. Not everyone has to be happy. Not everyone has to be happy in the team.
Yeah.
I don't care whether Jack is confident, and I do not care as long as we win what we plan to win. Man, players' confidences, man, this is elite sports, man. So we don't care about your ego or whatnot. We want the team to do well.
Thank you. That's the thing. That's why I told people at the beginning that if you think Pep Guardiola is your Lord and Savior, please don't watch this because it's just gonna hurt you. If you have got posters of Jack Grealish in your room or a tattoo of him, don't watch this because even if Riyad Mahrez is beyond criticism, don't watch this. If De Bruyne is beyond criticism, no one is beyond criticism, guys. When we are talking, it's not like we hate the team. We're not saying, oh, Pep has to be fired, or we're not saying, oh, you're not better than Pep. That's the other thing. And you know the funny thing is, Carl, I was watching Hussam. You know Hussam, right? The Liverpool fan. Yes. As much as Hussam sometimes is eccentric, sometimes is over the top, Hussam speaks sense. He said things to Liverpool fans months ago. Carl, he told them we need midfielders. Hussam told them don't smoke that. Fabinho is not right. We need another CDM. Fabinho is going to be leaking goals. Henderson, his legs are gone. He told them all this. Do you know what they told him? Because Hussam is from Jordan, Cow. They told him, you don't go to football games. Shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter. They told him this months ago. Yesterday, Hussam made a video, and I liked that video because it's the same sort of energy some people are giving me on Twitter. They're telling me that, oh, you're in Ireland, you've never attended a game, so why should we listen to you? But the funny thing is, it doesn't mean because you go and attend games, then you know Bono. So Hussam said this. He said, do you remember when I told you that this was going to happen? I told you we need midfielders. We need to prioritize midfielders. You told me that I should go to games before I talk. Now you're complaining, saying we need midfielders. People, in football, it doesn't matter where you're located. It doesn't matter where you are. You can still see that this player is rubbish. You can still see that the manager is making mistakes. You can still see everything. It doesn't matter if you see it on TV. I'm sorry. Just because I'm not at the stadium, I can still see Jack and Mahrez cutting in. You can't tell me that because you're at the stadium, you see different. No, that's rubbish. Because you're at the stadium, this is also the funny thing, Carl. I'm watching it on TV. Maybe at the stadium, the time is different. Didn't Pep Guardiola make the subs at the 87th minute, don't smoke? Or maybe at the stadium, it's different. I'm confused. We can still see it. Do you get it? We can still see it. This is the rubbish that we are talking about. We are not here to say we know better than Pep. We're just saying that sometimes managers have to be criticized for some mistakes they're making. Guys, you can't sit there drinking a bottle of water. How many times has he drank a bottle of water since first season and just watch the team go down where you know he could have made a change? He made a change 90th minute once. I remember, Cow. 90th minute, he brought Alvarez. And you asked me that, what was the point of bringing Alvarez in the 90th minute? It was the Brentford game. Why? 60th minute, you could have put Alvarez in the Brentford game. Even games were winning. We are 1-0 up. And you see that, oh my God, the team is getting tired. Or the De Bruyne is stinking up the place. Or Bernardo Silva is stinking up the place. Why don't you sub in Gundogan or somebody else different?
There are two philosophies in coaches' minds. One is, hey, when I make a change, it shows that I'm progressive. I got it wrong. I'm going to correct it. There's the other mindset, which is, oh, if I make a change, I'm going to look like an idiot and I made a mistake. Our manager's the other. He doesn't like to make changes because it makes him look bad that he made a mistake to start off with. So he'll wait and hope and wait and wait and wait until it's too late. Other managers, De Zerbi, Arsenal, Arteta, something's going wrong, bang, they make the change. Even Klopp yesterday, respect to him. Yesterday, halftime, makes the change. But it was too late.
He changed it, but his team is just not good enough at the point.
Exactly.
As I said,
But he tried.
Fabinho is not in form. Yeah.
What will Phil Foden coming on 80 minutes come and do? Let's see. So last night, right, I tweeted something, Patrick, just right? Do you know that Sergio Aguero wore our number 10 shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The legend, Sergio, who scored how many goals? After Alan Shearer, I believe he's the second highest goals. And now that shirt is being worn by this guy who scored 1 goal in 2 years. I mean, come on, guys. And this same guy is benching Philip Walter Foden, England's generational talent. He's putting him on the bench. This guy from Villa, who was a championship player 2 years ago, is wearing Sergio's shirt number 10 and has 1 goal in 3 years and is benching England's generational talent. The manager is obsessed with control and he wants to prove that this buy, 100 million, is going to work. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. You and I had a show a year ago. We said, let's be patient. Let's watch. Let's hope. I went back, Patrick. I looked at the data, went back, the archives, all Grealish's goals and Aston Villa in a championship. This guy didn't score goals. Got lots of fouls, but I don't care. Give me goals, man. Give me goals. Goals win games. Everton scores a goal yesterday, fine, good, great. They score a goal. We score 4, we win the game. Arsenal go to Brighton. Brighton score 2 goals. Arsenal score 4. Arsenal have 14 goals conceded. We have 16. Top of the league. Why? Because they're scoring more goals across the board. Why isn't Jack? Why isn't Mahrez? Ask yourself these questions, guys. We don't hate anyone. We're asking tough questions for the fans to say, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Yeah. No. And you know what, Don, before you go, here is the thing for the people who think, oh, we are throwing your players under the bus. We are not throwing anybody under the bus. We said it from the beginning. These players are in this situation because the manager is putting them in that situation, and the manager is playing them maybe to prove something. Let me tell you something, guys who are watching this and who think, oh, people just hate Jack, because maybe he's English, or people just hate Jack because it's Jack. Or people do this. Nobody hates Jack. It's our player. We want him to succeed. Nobody hates Riyad Mahrez. But guys, don't smoke. If your 2 wingers, I repeat this for the people who are watching. If our 2 wingers don't smoke, I dare to say this, the first half of the season is over, people. If our 2 wingers, look, I don't have to be a specialist. I don't have to be educated. I don't have to have coaching badges. Fair play. I have a friend who's a coach, Carl, who sometimes tells me things from a coaching view. I don't have to have coaching badges. If Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez, who are the 2 wingers that are playing with Haaland, have got 1 goal sharing with each other, 2 assists sharing with each other after 11 games. After 11 games, Jack, right now, let me share this because some of you will think it's an agenda. Because some of you think, oh, these people are talking rubbish. I'm telling you, it is time to try as Don't Smoke, Cole Palmer or Foden. Give them a try. Give them a try. Let me share this with you because some people will think, oh, give Jack. Oh, Jack draws fouls. Who cares? Nobody pays 100 million to draw fouls. I'm sorry, maybe somewhere else. So this guy, Jack, who cost us 100 million, who's been played over Philip Foden. Foden has got 7 goals this season. Foden, people say he hasn't been great, but what's the excuse? Look at Ten Hag. He was punishing Rashford for waking up late. But guess what? He saw the game is in trouble. Guess what he did? Don't Smoke and Cow. He put Rashford in, and guess what Rashford did? He scored. Every time Foden comes on, it is better. So, guys, the winger that we are fighting for, or the winger that Pep keeps playing over Foden, who's another Englishman, by the way. Surprise, surprise, Don't Smoke. He's another Englishman. Look at this. He's got 1 goal this season, right? Then, if I go over from Jack, these are the wingers we have, guys. And Carl, you have to see how much trouble we have this season. Well, Haaland cannot be carrying this team. Like Haaland is here to score goals, but the wingers have to assist. Look at this, the other one. Cow and don't smoke. These two players are sharing one goal each.
It's
They're
incredible.
sharing two. They're sharing two assists amongst each other. 2 assists by Jack, 0 by. So in the league, guys, we are playing two wingers that have got lowest assists. Wingers in this league, Grealish and Mahrez have actually the lowest stats. I think so. Lowest stats. And these are the guys playing next to Haaland. Okay, somebody told me this, Cow. They said, oh, and don't smoke. Maybe Pep is playing Jack Grealish and and Mahrez for them to add to the creation. What have they created? What have they created? Look at the assist gone. So what have they created? You guys, sometimes you think you're talking to kids. I've noticed. I think sometimes you think you're talking to kids.
Patrick, what's the biggest problem, right? People have to decide, right? What do they support first, right? Manchester City or specific players? Man, at the end of the day, man, I don't care who comes and who goes, as long as the team is doing is success. Right?
Thank you.
And anyone can get it, man. From Edison, from Pep, first from Pep, all the way till the cleaning lady. Man, I don't care, man. At the end of the day, you must understand that in elite sports, the goal is to win, right? And if you can win whilst playing beautiful football, that is a bonus. The goal is not to play beautiful football if you are losing, right?
Thank you.
Man, a winger's job is to create chances or score goals, right? If you're not doing either, then you might as well be on the bench. And
yeah, like what exactly are you doing? Don't smoke. Like what are these two doing at this point in time?
Man,
occupying space, isn't it? They're occupying space for two people.
Patrick, these people are not playing in this team for free. They are well-paid professionals. That's what people must understand.
Thank you.
Right.
3,000 K a week for Jack. About 200 something for Mahrez. But again, can I say something though before we say Mahrez last season was benched a lot, Kyle, but he still managed to score 11 goals. Now let's be careful on this also, because this is what I'm seeing. A lot of people are not backing Riyad Mahrez, but they're backing Grealish as if Grealish is the best person they've ever seen, as if he's carried us before. Riyad Mahrez scored one of the most goals in the UCL for City last season. Then he scored 11 goals for City while coming off the bench, and he assisted a few. Jack scored one goal. Well, and this is the guy you want to play over Foden, who Foden was the second best goal scorer in the
and Patrick, this is my problem. Riyad has paid his dues. Riyad has some credit in the bank. Fine. My problem is I don't understand how Foden does not start ahead of Grealish. I cannot understand it. The numbers are there. We know what Foden can do. Even if he's having a bad day, we know that it takes one moment and something happens. We watched the Forest game where it was Foden, Haaland, and Alvarez, 3 goals, a hat trick of goals. We saw what he can do. Yet, he's on the bench.
He gets benched. Yeah, he was benched in the next game.
I have my local friends.
After he scored in the United.
And I asked my local friends in Manchester, many who know them, so I said, why are you not backing your boy from Stockport to start over this guy from Birmingham, from Villa, who clearly is not good enough in front of goal? Why?
Yep.
I get silence.
No, because I can tell you why. I have the answer for you, Carl. Jack, right? When he gets the ball, he draws fouls. When he gets the ball, players swam over him. So when they swam over him, it shows that Jack takes players away and creates space for other people.
No, but you see,
when we're playing against it, when we're playing against that 7 you're talking about, Don, do you know what happens? They only send one person to him. Did you notice that? They just send 2 or 3, and the rest still go back and crowd. If Jack was hiking the touchline, yeah, go ahead.
Carl would tell you, yeah, pretty much. Good Soup explained it so well, fantastic, in fact, yeah, on the space that I hosted yesterday about Pep. She pretty much just explained how he has somewhat like an obsession with greed, even though it's not working out. There comes a point where you have to cut your losses with a player. Yeah, we said the same thing for Mangala. We said the same thing for Wilfred Boney. Even though Wilfred Boney, I remember saying to Carl, I said to Carl, yeah, that Wilfred Boney had more goals than what Grealish had at the moment. And that says a lot.
There's a good comment here. Pep Guardiola is a sentimental manager. That's why he kept choosing Sterling when he was not worth it, and to play him in the CO finals, criminal. That's a good comment.
No, but you see, the thing is, right, the CL final, right, we understood the idea behind what he was trying to do, right? Just that Sterling didn't make up for that choice selection. The thing is, funny enough, Pep has actually been ruthless for most of his career. It's only now he's becoming sentimental, right? At his own,
like playing Fernandinho. If it was up to me, I could have
Yes.
played that Egan Riley kid. I could have played the Egan Riley kid at right back. At least he's got legs.
You see what I'm saying? Regarding Foden, right? I think I saw it. The Foden thing was just after the contract. You could see, and so I even noticed saying there's a change in Foden's attitude, right? Whereby you see the way Palmer plays, right? I'm saying the energy, the commitment. That was Foden before everything. Whereby the issue with some players is eventually the hype gets to their head, and they're like, you know what? I'm too good to start tracking back and doing other certain things. And Pep is like Mourinho in that sense, whereby if he feels your attitude is not up to it, he'll bench you, even at the cost of the team. Because at the moment now, the team is suffering for Pep's decisions. Right, and regarding the people don't understand whenever they say no. I don't blame the players for no. We've always said that the issue with Grealish is not even his role; it is his lack of initiative. Right, you can't tell me that no Pep. When Palmer goes on and he starts taking on players, it's always up to always by Pep's instructions. Sometimes the kid just takes the ball, like, you know what, in this situation I can do something. And he takes on, and at times he loses. Hence, we always say our issue with Grealish is always the lack of initiative. You take, you take 2 people on or 3 people on, right? You create
instead of
space.
passing backwards or dragging the ball back and passing again.
No, Patrick, this is my problem. You take 2 people on or 3 people on. Now, instead of releasing the ball to create the space, you go for the foul. The defense, they just reset to their shape, and you've just wasted. Whatever you've done was a waste. We are not Villa who are trying to get up the pitch and we need you to get a foul to get us up. No, we already up the pitch.
Yeah, for set pieces, because Villa did that for set pieces.
You see, we don't need that, right? This Grealish one, man, we can speak to eternity. At the end of the day, I've always said that as a wing, the only winger for me I feel we have right now is that Palmer kid. Right. And every time
I want to make sure that people understand what you just explained very clearly. Everybody, what Don Smoke just said, this is why I love software engineers, is he says, if you think that Grealish is there to get fouls, the problem with that analogy is that when he gets a foul, the defense resets.
Yeah,
Are you following? Right? The back line of the opposition resets, and they've just wasted more time. So you getting fouls is breaking up the City rhythm to get a goal, because you're taking a foul and you're resetting. They're resetting again, and they like that, right? And these are the nuances that we talk about all the time in the game. Yeah. It's shocking that we don't understand that. Why would I want a foul when I can score a goal?
Thank you.
Why? Why would I want a foul when I can score a goal? How many free kicks have we scored? How many? 1 in 15 games? 2? It's thank you, Don Smoke, for calling that, because that's a very salient point that people miss. He has to get fouled. I don't care about fouls. Give me goals.
I don't understand why. You know what makes me laugh? I don't understand this obsession of saying, like, you know what, guys? I have seen great stuff from Mahrez and Grealish this season. And Mahrez in the Everton game, he was like, F this. I think Don said it. Do you see what he did, Mahrez, Don? He was like, I'm tired of this. He just started dribbling. You saw that. Then he gave it to Haaland. You can tell sometimes from their faces are like, I'm tired of this positional play, or let me keep the ball.
Patrick,
let me just go for it.
Patrick, people are wrong. People don't understand how Pep works. Even Thierry Henry once explained to him that in the final third, Pep gives players creative freedom. Pep's structure is to get you to the final third, whereby that's why if you do your own thing in the first two phases of the play, he will sub you off. But in the final third, he explained, even Pep told him, I need you to get in these positions, but once you in that final third, show me what you have. That's how Andre always explained Pep, whereby he tells him, me as a manager is to get you into the box. Once I've gotten into the box, then now you must show me what you can do as a player, and he will never hold you back for it. So this thing is just Grealish and Mahrez being ineffective and trying to blame it on control. No, Pep's job is to control the defense and the midfield portion of the field. Once you're in that final third, Pep doesn't care what you do.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know what? Let me just read a few comments. I'm not going to read many, but I'm going to read it because there's a lot of comments. We are not throwing Pep under the bus. We're just giving constructive criticism. That's basically what we're saying. We're trying to say sometimes it doesn't take somebody great. And Veta said something smart here. Veta said Pep made no subs versus Crystal Palace last season. He also made subs against Aston Villa. Pep made subs, I think, in the Aston Villa game, and the Villa changed. And that's the game where Raheem came in. Every time Pep has made subs, things work out. The issue with Pep Guardiola, which we're going to step into, we're leaving Jack and now we're going into Pep, is the issue with Pep is he sits there. This is what, I'm sorry, people say, oh, it's Pep, but at the end of the day, guys, I'm sorry. This is you're not, okay, let me break this down for you guys. I'm sorry, guys. If you are poor, let's say if you had no money in your life and you were poor, you came from poverty, but you've made it. You've worked so hard in your life and you've got rich and you've made it. Your life is comfortable. Your financial worth is there. You've got financial security. It doesn't mean that you still have to be acting poor. You can be humble. I repeat this. You can be humble as a person, that you're coming from humble beginnings and you're coming from humble places. You know what suffering is. That I respect. You know what suffering is. And you say, look, we used to suffer back in the days. This is why I appreciate what we have. But you still don't have to behave poor. You don't have to still not have anything in your house just because you're like, I came from humble beginnings and let me not buy a nice TV in my house. You have to change profile. Why I'm saying this is what I have noticed is a lot of international fans are being blasted by a few people. I won't mention any names. I don't want to mention names, nor do I care to mention names. But few people are blasting saying, "Oh, we were there in Main Road when things were tough. We were there when the team was bad, this and that. So we don't care if Pep does this. We don't care if this is happening. We just appreciate what we have." I respect that. It's called being humble. But you also have to remember the team has evolved. It moved out of Main Road for a reason. If this team wanted to not evolve, they could have stayed in Main Road. They moved to the Etihad for a reason. It's called bigger, better things. Why do you think they're extending the stadium? What do you think? Why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think City tours around the world? Why do they tour? If they only cared about us to stay local, us to stay here, they couldn't have toured. Every time when there's a preseason, City stays in the Manchester team stays in Manchester and plays the preseason games there. Reason why these teams tour, I'm sorry, when you are going towards where Man City are right now, to be called by the Ballon d'Or that it's the best club in the world, things have changed. It's no longer that small club that was beaten by Gareth Southgate's Middlesbrough 8-1. It's no longer that. The winning mentality changes in your head. Let me give you an example of Madrid. In Madrid, it doesn't matter what player you are, what manager you are. If you are making schoolboy mistakes or if you are repeating the same mistakes in Madrid, the fans make it hurt. They'll tell you that, look, there's something wrong there. That's where City is going. I'm sorry. And the funny thing is, I'm going to address this right now, and I want to address it in 2023, and I don't care anymore because I have been nice. I am very polite to many people. People who know me, I'm always very polite, but sometimes I have a bit of an issue. I am too nice and polite, and Carl tells me this, and I believe him. A lot of people tell me this. I'm too polite and nice, so I will tolerate you. But sometimes I see some people take advantage of your kindness. Let me tell you something, guys. You keep saying people who are not from Man City. Some people, not everybody. Some people say people who are not from Man City are not real fans. They are plastic fans, they are internet fans, or they're fans that have never gone to games. Don't smoke Adam and Carl. and people in the comments, where is Sheikh Mansour from? Where is he from? Is Sheikh Mansour? Yeah, so why are you not talking about Sheikh Mansour? Why are you not saying, oh, he's not one of us, or we can't listen to his opinion? But just because he's a billionaire and he bought the club, he's from Abu Dhabi, he's Arab, he's not a monk, he's not there. So I don't get this behavior where when somebody wants to say something, you say, oh, you don't belong here. Who are you? You're not a local. Why do you say? I don't get it. I don't understand, because the guy who owns your club doesn't even belong. It's not even English. So why I'm saying this is mentality has to change, because whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is where Man City is going. And it's good. Maybe I tell you as an international fan, maybe at the end of the day, you understand. Man City is going towards a point where one day, if they win the Champions League, you are going to feel the pain of what happens in the Champions League. When a club wins the Champions League, they become very big. Those people you call plastic glory hunters flood in, because now it's a Champions League club. It's a different club. It's international. You're now a European big club. There'll be kids who jump in. I have seen kids in Ireland wearing Man City jerseys. When I came in Ireland 10 years ago, a lot of the kids here used to wear Liverpool jerseys. There's now City jerseys everywhere in the street, Man City. And in the shops, there used to be no Man City jerseys. When I came here, there used to be no Man City. And you had to order the Man City jersey outside Ireland. Now, Carl, there's City jerseys in every store because kids are buying the jerseys. Kids are becoming Man City fans. These are the kids you're going to be dealing with in the future. And these kids who grow up, and these are the kids who are going to be Man City supporters. Why I'm telling you all this is Man City is no longer a small club. It's an international club. Whether you like it or not, it's a big club now. So the ambitions are different. That's the reason why when people say, oh, we don't need the Champions League is for people who are outsiders. I'm sorry, the club needs the Champions League. Guess what Pep just said in his press? We're going to have to win the Champions League. Why do you think Haaland is here? Why do you think Haaland came here? Do you think Haaland came here to win the Carabao Cup? Haaland came here to win the FA Cup. Haaland is here because he sees that this Man City team is big enough to win a Champions League, Premier League, and win him trophies and to make him a better profile player. Haaland chose Man City because he wants to play under Pep, one of the best managers in the world, and he wants to win trophies. But people don't understand this humbleness. I get it. I respect the humbleness, but you have to remember, you are a big club now. You're a bigger club because that's how it is. And you're going to get a lot of people joining this club, whether you like it or not. And unless you've got the keys to lock the door, people are going to join regardless. Go ask United fans. Go ask Liverpool fans. When they became global, there's United fans in the village in my country, and there's no TV or radio, but there's United fans wearing United jerseys. Are you going to lock them up? That's what I'm saying. We have to stop this mentality thinking we can't criticize the manager. We can't criticize players. We can't jump at them because, we have to appreciate what we have. Don't just watch mediocre performances and accept them. Don't let our manager sit on the touchline and not make any subs until the 87th minute or the 90th minute. And we're like, oh, it's fine. Pep Guardiola is the best manager we've ever had. So even if he doesn't make subs, I understand what he's doing. No, that's a mistake. That's a big mistake. The thing about it is one day, this will be gone. Everybody knows that. Nobody's silly. This glory will be gone. But you'll be crying that maybe we should have done this. Maybe we could have won that Champions League. Because this also brings me to this, Carl. The mistakes that have been made in the Champions League. Every City fan, wherever you're sitting, whether you're international or local, you'll be a liar if you sit there and say, those mistakes that in the Champions League were just unlucky. No, I'm sorry, don't lie to me. We were only unlucky in that Spurs game. But also, if you study that Spurs game in the first leg, we should have played De Bruyne. We should have played De Bruyne. He benched De Bruyne. I'm sorry. So that's it.
Yep.
I just wanted to educate people on that. That sometimes it's good to be humble, and I respect somebody being humble, and I respect from where everybody's coming from. But don't be blind because you want to say, I'm satisfied with what I have. Unfortunately, the club has moved. Even Pep himself said in the press, go watch it. Go ahead.
What makes Carlo Ancelotti the best manager probably living right now? What makes him so special? What does he do differently? Don Smoke, help me out. What does Carlo Ancelotti do?
I would say two things, right? First, he keeps things simple and he has good game management. For me, that's what I've seen. Keeps things simple and his game management is very good.
100%. 100%. He keeps things simple. You don't see crazy things happening. And you're like, what the hell are we looking at? He keeps things simple. Does he lose games? 100%. Everybody loses games. There's nobody on the earth that doesn't lose a game.
Nobody's perfect.
Simple. Now, again, I'm not saying our manager is not the great. I'm not saying that. Love the guy to death. But I wrote an article about him when we lost the UCL final to Chelsea. I said there's a yin and the yang. There are two sides of this mentality, where when you're so obsessed with control that you often forget the reason why you were there in the first place. UCL final. Fernandinho basically drags us through Paris to get to the final. Drags us. Remember the red card from PSG? Remember the game?
Di Maria, yes.
Yes, Fernandinho, your spiritual leader. The same leader who, when we were shit against West Brom, called a meeting with everybody, including the manager, and said, guys, we need to fix this. In the biggest game of the season, for him, as a captain, he drops him. Think about that for one moment. The spiritual leader of the team in the final of the Champions League, he drops him. We haven't explored these things in detail. We haven't really talked about it. Now we're talking about this.
We ignore them. And do you know what? We ignore them. And Carl, let me drop a bit of a bomb in this. Carl, let me drop a bomb to you on this, and don't smoke at Adam. Leon, John Stones was on the bench. Seniors. Otamendi, a senior defender. I'm sorry.
Change the formation.
John Stones, and guess what? Change the formation and played Garcia. Eric Garcia.
Yeah.
Keep going, Carl. Keep going.
Call you there.
Carl, keep
No,
going.
see, yeah, again, again, I love the guy. I'm just asking the questions, right? I'm asking, this is how my brain works. And Don't Smoke, we're all the same thing. We're in tech and technology. This is how we think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Don't Smoke.
Yeah.
Right? We question ourselves all the time of why, what happened, what's the reason, what can be better, what can we do? Perfection is never stationary. We're always striving for the next level. That's how we think. That's how tech and engineers think about it. That's what we do.
You see, Patrick, in our profession, right, there's something called root cause analysis, right? We don't look at outcomes, right? For the first thing, when something happens a lot, we look at a pattern, right? And we want to get to the root cause of it, because unless you get to the root cause of it, that thing is very likely to happen again. Right? Before I even get to regarding the fan thing, right? This is all I say, right? In life, everything comes at a price, right? Let me give you a scenario. Let's say, for example, you an engineer, right? You work as an engineer, and then you want to be a manager, right? Because you're gonna get much more better benefits, better pay packet, and whatnot. You can't be a manager now and still expect to give the same performances and the same product that you were giving when you were an engineer, right? And that's the issue with which City fans have to understand. With this new elevation in position comes a new set of expectations, right? Whatever was sufficient before may not be sufficient for where you are now, and that's just life. Everything comes at a price. You can't say no. The media should give us credit. What right? But then now, when the expectations come with these new positions, you are now complaining about no, but we're still the same old City. You're not, and this is the same pressure that other clubs that consider themselves elite have to deal with, right? Regarding Pep, for me, I always seen it as it's like some sort of arrogance, right? Whenever Pep does these things, it's more like he wants to one up the other manager and catch them by surprise. Hence, even Tuchel was laughing when he saw the lineup. He was like, okay, you want, because I don't know if you remember, there's a game, I think there was a game whereby we beat, I think, Liverpool. I think during the COVID pandemic era, whereby we played with two defensive midfielders instead of one, and we caught them by surprise, right? So the issue with Pep is at times he overthinks things when he doesn't need to. There is no need for us to change our formation to a Lyon. It should be the other way around, whereby I always say at the end of the day, put your best team. If they lose, shake your opponent's hand, saying, "No, you were the better team."
100%.
Right? There's no point in us having a squad that's valued at 1 billion, and we need to alter for a less inferior team, alter our tactics for a less inferior team. Put your best team, and this is what I always respect about Ancelotti. Ancelotti would start always with Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro. If the other team gets has a better day, then now you alternate or you change your team to suit what is happening. Not the other way around, whereby you probably start a Romeo Lavia instead of Fernandinho or Rodri, saying no, they would never see it coming. And then now you want to get Rodri into the game when it's almost 90th minute. No. And as long as we do that, at the end of the day, you have to understand that in the Champions League, when you get to the later stages, the quality of the opponent is going to be at a similar level than you. And most of these teams are going to have clinical guys. Given the chance, this is not you see, only in a league you can make up for your stupid errors way down the season. In a knockout competition,
you can't. In the Champions League,
it is one chance and you are done. Then you have to wait for next season. And we've seen it enough. The Monaco games, Spurs. Like, at the end of the day, we have to understand that our coach also has an Achilles heel, right? And you know what? The thing is this. If you have a Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, and a Busquets, or these guys are good enough to rescue you on their own. If you're having a bad game, you have to understand that you don't have those tools anymore. We now rely on a team dynamic.
Wait a minute, there's a comment here. It says Pep has said it's attitude in training why Cancelo, Walker, and Foden aren't starting. I get that, but you're losing the game. So he's willing to lose a game as long as he puts this.
Let me talk about that comment for a moment, right? Attitude in training. So Walker, Cancelo, Foden, who've won you multiple Premier Leagues, attitude in training. Where is the faith?
You have echo on your mic, Carl. There's echo or something. I don't know.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah. You talk about attitude in training. Where's the faith in the players who've won you multiple titles, who go on the pitch and who perform? Attitude in training? Are you a rookie? Are you a rookie manager? You're looking for attitude in training before you start them in a big game. Are you kidding me? We talk about Carlo Ancelotti. You think players like Cruz and Modric don't have attitude in training? Starts them because he knows they can deliver on the field. Why are we making excuses when we see what is happening? Why does this fan base love to cover up and paper over the cracks? Why? Why do we cover for Grealish, who is taking Phil Foden's spot, who Raheem Sterling left because of him? Let's be clear. Reason why Sterling left and didn't sign because Grealish came in, took his spot. And now Foden is on the bench. Let's be clear. Why? What is going on with us? Are we so mired in this mentality of mediocrity that we never rise to the occasion and question and challenge people and say, why?
Yeah.
Go ahead. This was the beginning of Liverpool's demise, right? Whereby you could see what was going on, but because we don't want to upset the apple cart, right, and people will get angry and whatnot, we now start keeping quiet until the ship is now sinking, right? We actually almost in the water. Then we're calling now for a lifeboat.
You see that, Don't Smoke? This is what I said. I said Rashford slept for a meeting, slept in and did not show up in the meeting, right? And came late. He was punished, but at the end of the day, Rashford is a goal scorer. Do you know what Ten Hag said? Shit, we might lose this game. The most informed player is Rashford, and the most dynamic and dangerous player is Rashford. Let me bring him in. Don't pride and stubbornness. Like this is, and by the way, guys, people who are going to be watching this or people who are watching this has nothing to do with Everton. If you look at my videos at the beginning, even when I featured on a Liverpool channel, I featured on a Gauss channel at the beginning of the season after a few games, and they crowned me the Premier League winner already. I said, be careful. I was like, no, the City team hasn't clicked yet. And they're like, no, they'll click. Don't worry. After preseason, I was like, something isn't right here. We keep looking predictable. It's like I told them that I was saying this on a Gauss channel. You can go back to the video. It was at the beginning after 3 games or 4 games. I said we look so predictable with Maris and Jack when they come in, and sometimes we look so. We're doing the same thing, and the teams are gonna figure out that we're doing the same thing. Let me tell you something, guys. When I'm watching Man City now, I want you to go and watch Man City 17-18. The football they were playing, one-touch football, fast movement they were playing. They were ripping up teams at the point where they were just walking in the goal. Do you remember? They just walked in with the ball. They just walked in. David Silva gives it to Sane. Sane goes, overlaps, and Raheem was literally 1v1 with an empty net, and he was just walking the ball in because they were ripping teams apart and they were unpredictable. But the thing about now is we're so predictable. Guess what we're going to do? I know what City are going to do. And if I was a manager coaching another team, I think I have a fair chance. I think if you gave me a good, decent team, I have a fair chance against City. Because you know what? I can tell my guys, don't run for them. Don't press them. Don't waste your time. They're going to pass. The center back is going to take the ball. They'll pass left. They'll pass right. If you close them this side, they'll pass it back again. If you close Jack is going to cut in, and then he'll take the ball. If you chase him, he'll continue chasing himself backwards, pass it this side or switch it. If you close Mahrez, he's going to pass backwards. Basically, they'll keep passing backwards. And don't worry about Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. Just man mark them. Make sure you're with them walking around, and let's just park the bus, and they will go nowhere, and we might get a draw here. I can see that from the TV. Maybe on the TV, since somebody said it's edited, that's what they told me. So I don't see everything, but that's what you can do against City. But that's what they're doing. That's what we're seeing. Pass it, pass. But now I was watching a clip from 18-19 against Arsenal. My God, Carl, I haven't seen us play football like that. The time when we played Chelsea and Chelsea started walking around in the pitch, that's not the football we were playing. I think there's a difference. I know you have to change, but right now we look predictable. We just have so many left footers in this team, Don't Smoke. I don't know what the obsession with left footers is. So many left footers and so many similar players. Everything is so similar. And now the funny thing is...
Have you noticed that I think normally it's about the speed at which we move the ball. And I've always said this, right?
Thank you.
Without Laporte and Stones, our build-up is always slow, right? Because the key is always how fast do we move the ball up, right?
Exactly.
And because what people don't understand that what makes us effective is how quick we transition the ball. Right?
Exactly.
From Edison all the way to De Bruyne to make something. And the issue is if it's a lot of sideways, then people don't understand. At the end of the day, it's about making sure that the defense hasn't been resetted by the time you've moved the ball up. Because it means you've removed people out of that defending.
And you've cut them, then you've cut them apart. You can make that pass.
You know what it was, Don Smoke Bank and everybody? You know what it was? You know when Laporte was in the pitch? Yeah. He had the vision where, in a sense, he could see potentially Mahrez on the wing, and he will ping that ball to Mahrez or say whether it's whoever's on the wing position, if it's a holder, yeah. And people, the excuse is, Laporte has errors in it. Please tell me, there's no defender have errors in them. Every defender has an error in them. But what Laporte, like what Don Smoke, the two best centre back pairing at the club, Laporte and John Stones. Put these two together, he's your best partner, your defensive partner. Laporte, his vision will find players, but apparently he's injured, so we can't do that much. But people always give him the stick that he's that XYZ, all of this, but it's the same issue for Edison where people just like to just basically just pick on Edison for the most stupidest stuff.
Patrick, to add to Adam, at the end of the day, we just have to outscore the opponents. I don't care how many errors. Look at the Liverpool game. We won 3-2. I don't see anyone complaining that we conceded 2 whilst
Thank you,
we
Don't
scored
Smoke.
3.
Easy goals. But
Thank
guess
you
what?
very much, Don't Smoke.
We had determination. You're right. And guess what? Wasn't it Palmer playing in that Liverpool game?
Well,
yes.
Patrick, this is the difference, and Don't Smoke. I'm talking about control versus verticality. That Liverpool game, we were vertical. Every ball we were vertical. Drive.
Unpredictable too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But this obsession with control at the expense of verticality is what we saw at Everton. Exactly what we saw at Everton. And I don't, maybe he's trying to help Everton out. Maybe giving them a point. I don't know. I just can't. I just don't understand it anymore.
No,
Why
I
are you
don't think that's
playing?
it.
Why are you playing, Patrick? Why are you playing? Mahrez and Grealish against a back seven.
Because they're
back
smiling in
seven.
because they're smiling in because they're smiling in training. If you don't smile
God
in training, you don't play.
Almighty. And two inverted wingers who are not good at finishing. See, Liverpool play inverted wingers, right? But the difference between Liverpool, they have Sane and Salah. They had Mane and Salah, right? Mane and Salah are finishers from that inverted position. They get the ball, they cut in, bang, goal. Right? Am I lying? Am I right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, they're very ambitious. Why are ours passes behind?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you compare Liverpool's inverted wingers versus our inverted wingers, Grealish and Mahrez, there's no comparison. You're trying to copy Liverpool's style, but you don't have the players. But you change your own style, which is natural wingers with Sane and Sterling, to copy Liverpool's inverted wingers, and now we're struggling. I just don't understand it, man.
Okay, cool. So wait, don't smoke. I wanted to say something on this also. Oh, by the way, guys, I said at the beginning of the video, some people might be saying, "Oh my God, the reason why you're doing this video is because of the Everton draw." No, it's not about that. We're just doing a general talk. We spoke about the transfer windows for January and last season. How good the summer transfer window was. If we need anybody in January, most of the panel says we don't. We've got players that can change games. Yes, if there's a miracle that a natural left back walks in and another natural left-footed or right-footed winger, fast, pacey winger walks in, maybe that's a miracle and a plus. But we've got the guy, Maximo Peron. I don't even think the deal has been done yet. I don't think there's an agreement yet. I saw a thing that it hasn't been fully finished yet, even though Fabrizio said, here we go. But I wanted to say this to people. Before you start throwing your toys out of the pram, guys, this season, I want to tell you something. And sometimes it's good to be humble and it's good to be respectful. What's happening in the league has nothing to do with the fact that Man City, Liverpool, and other teams are going down. Yes. Funny thing is, at this same stage, some of the teams in the top four, last season they had less points than now. But now I just wanted to educate people on something. Arsenal this season have been amazing. If you look at the table, they have only lost once, that's against United, and drawn one game. Arsenal are actually amazing. City have not fallen far off, but they are their own silly mistakes that are being made because of the starting 11 sometimes have caused us to draw 3 games which we were not supposed to draw. We've drawn 3 games which we were not supposed to draw. Then we've lost 1 game which we were not supposed to lose. The Brentford game, when it was 1-1, we had to make changes. Or when it was a certain point, we had to make changes in that Brentford game, and maybe we could have won that game. But I'm saying City they're not even declining. We're not saying City is finished, Pep is finished. No, we're not. It's just a few mistakes we've made and not subbing in or not making changes or not playing the right profile players in those games, especially we drew. We didn't play the right profile players is the reason why we're in this situation. But if you look at Arsenal, they have been incredible this season, and I'm giving them the flowers. They've lost once, drawn one. So Arsenal is actually incredible this season. But we can be on the same point. We could have been on the same point with Arsenal if some of those games we drew, we were not making schoolboy mistakes or playing inverted wingers while we know these guys are going to pack the pass. Or in the 60th minute or halftime, we know things are not working out in the first half. You make changes. Pep made a change against Aston Villa and we won the game, if I remember right. He made few changes recently and we won games and came back in the games. Now, this is the thing, and I think Carl is going to enjoy this. We're going to talk about Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez, don't smoke. I'll start with you, Julian Alvarez. Congratulations for Julian Alvarez. He won the World Cup. What a baller. And don't smoke. He was pivotal. And don't smoke. This is what I told people. Higuain failed to accomplish a World Cup with Messi. Aguero, one of the greatest goal scorers. Even Higuain on his peak, he was one of the greatest goal scorers, failed. Aguero failed, did not do very well. Dybala in his peak powers, being played as a false 9, failed to get what's his name, Messi, a Copa. Nor did he succeed in helping Messi get a World Cup. Martinez who was the striker we wanted once ourselves. All of us, we were saying, oh my God, Martinez is great. Lautaro Martinez failed to get Messi a World Cup. Tevez failed to get Messi a World Cup. Guess what, guys? Don't Smoke, the guy who we bought for 14 million, if you don't count the add-ons, we scouted from Argentina. The guy who Don't Smoke, when we first made a video that this guy is not a CFG signing, some people said he's useless. He's not good enough for the team. He's now the World Cup winner, and he came back. Can you speak on Alvarez, Don't Smoke? Do you think, because I saw Alvarez in the Nottingham Forest game, guys who think that Alvarez cannot play with Haaland, go see the Nottingham Forest game. Alvarez was at the right-hand side and supplying balls to Haaland. Obviously, Haaland did not score a few, but he was causing trouble at the right-hand side. Why is Alvarez still being benched, Don't Smoke? What is your thought? Maybe we're not seeing something. Maybe we're too blinded.
It's not even that, man. I always say, you know what? At the end of the day, since we always play a 3 anyway in the game, we might as well play a 3-4-1-2 or 3-1-3-1-4-2, right? Since you're already doing this nonsense, right? Make full use of what you have, because I can guarantee you, right? Give Alvarez half of the chances that Grealish and Mahrez have, he will score more than the expected output that you're going to have. At the end of the day, it's goals that win you matches, right? I don't care what you say about control. And it's pointless if you have all this control if you do nothing with it, right? At the end of the day, I don't mind. I prefer a 3-3 draw than a 0-0 draw, whereby the team just parks the bus and we do nothing. You might as well switch off your TV, or we just postpone the fixture and we share points. Just play 2 strikers. Have your 3 center backs as you usually like to play. Put either put Rodri and a Bernardo in the middle. Play Kev as a 10 and put 2 fullbacks. Since you don't overlap just have 2 fullbacks and let them play, and then let them show us what they can do. Because I can guarantee you have Haaland and Alvarez up there. We don't need just 2 or 3 chances is enough, and we're gonna win every game.
What about Carl? What's your thought? Why is Alvarez still being thrown? Do you think it's to accommodate those 2 players and try shoot them on? Because to be honest with you, that Everton game, I was looking at it and saying, I swear to God, if you throw in Alvarez and Foden right now, I think they're going to cause trouble for this Everton team and they might score. But instead, we got Alvarez playing as a left back, because playing as a wing back, left wing back in the 89th minute.
Well, so, and Patrick, just to your point, I mean, anybody who saw that and thinks there's nothing wrong and we shouldn't ask questions, then get your head examined. Get your head examined, because then you don't understand. You don't love the game. When you see Alvarez playing left wing back, you don't love the game. I'm sorry. You have this fatalistic love for the manager and whatever players that you have in your mind for whatever reason. Because we've seen Julian Alvarez play with Haaland up front against Norwich, against Forest. We've seen him take on. Remember, he scored 2 goals in that game. That Haaland scored 3, and the 2 goals he scored were absolute beautiful goals. Beautiful goals. We've seen him destroy Chelsea by himself.
And he was coming from the right-hand side, wasn't he? And he was also drifting to the left. Yeah.
We've seen him destroy Chelsea by himself, Alvarez. And yet, you don't want to play him. Now, if I'm his agent, I'm knocking on the door of the manager and saying, excuse me, my boy just won the World Cup. And he's being benched for a guy who has 1 goal in 2 years and who can't get to the England squad. Southgate does not even start Grealish. Yet, we are starting him. So for me, I don't know why. I don't get it, Patrick. I just do not get it.
Yeah, because Alvarez was a winger, by the way, guys, before he became a striker. Even Aguero said it on his stream. So Alvarez was a winger before he became a striker. But sometimes at Liverpool, he used to play as an inside forward when the forward that used to play in the team is fit. Until obviously he took over as a straight forward. Alvarez can play a false 9, number 10. left winger, right winger. Some people will sit there and say, "Oh, don't force this Alvarez agenda." But the thing is, we're looking for difference. The thing about Alvarez is, even in this Argentina team, Lautaro Martinez was playing as a striker sometimes, and he was playing as a winger. He played as a winger in the Argentina team.
Well, Pat, I want you to talk about. Please share with the audience that you and I did a full decomposition, a full analysis of every game Alvarez has played from River Plate through now. Every goal in every game. We looked at where he plays, how he plays, what position he plays, how he scores goals, where his favorite position is. And the analysis, the conclusion of our analysis was that Alvarez actually is more comfortable playing either left or right of the striker position.
Because he's an inside forward.
He's more comfortable doing that. Now, This is not me and Patrick saying, oh, we think. No. The heat map tells you, the data tells you he can play left and right. His heat map is hot, more on the left and more on the right, for River Plate and for City. We showed every goal, how the goals are built up. We show you where he starts from, where he ends up, where he scores to go from. So the question now is, if I'm doing this and Patrick is doing this, the $1 million people who are back in Etihad Camp, what are we doing? What are we doing? Surely again, I'm asking the difficult questions as to why. What is it? Is there a drive to say we must get everything out of this 100 million? We must make sure it works.
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
If it doesn't work,
because
Patrick,
of price tag. Yeah,
if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, Patrick. Sit him on the bench. Yeah. Sit him on the bench. Doesn't work, it doesn't work. Sit him on the bench. Yeah. Let me give you an example. I respect United and Erik ten Hag. You know why? Jadon Sancho, 75 million pounds. Guess what? They benched his ass. They benched him. They brought in Garnacho, kid from the academy, balling.
Thank you.
Where's Sancho now? He's in the Netherlands doing some rehab, mentally and physically, because he wasn't good enough. But we play ours because somehow we have to play him because it's 100 million. Nonsense. Absolute tosh.
We have to play him into form.
Absolute tosh.
Yep.
Erik ten Hag is ruthless, and I respect him for it. No nonsense. Look, I do it down to Ronaldo. Out the door, quick. Jadon Sancho, 75 million, didn't cut it, sent him away on the bench. The kid is in Manchester, in the Netherlands now, getting rehab. Yet, we must find a way to. Sancho has more goals than Grealish. Sancho has more goals and assists than Jack Grealish. Yet, he's out of the United squad. And yet, somehow, we are the champions. We must find a way to get him to play. What are we talking about, guys? We're the champions. 4 times out of 5, champions of England. Best team in the world and all the land. And you're accommodating a guy who cannot get goals? And Philip Walter Foden is on the bench?
Carl, you know what
Come on, man. What are we talking about here?
Carl, you know what I find very funny? This is the same Grealish that was running his mouth like Almiron.
Imagine that. Running your mouth against Almiron. Now, Almiron has 9 goals. Where are you now? Shame. Shame on you. Shame. The gods love football because Almiron that you laughed at now has 9 goals, and hopefully he scores tonight. Make it 10 or 11 or 12. Right? You are there with 1 goal. The gods love the game. It's a shame. Wake up, City fans. It's not good enough for us. Wake up. It's not good enough for us.
You know what it is, Carl? I was one of them where I used to back him. I used to find every excuse in the book to just back him.
We all did.
After what you sat me down and said to me, Adam, you know what? Yeah. You know what? There comes a point where you just have to cut your losses. It's like in a relationship. Yeah. If you're with a girl that talks too much, or she's a headache, or she's trouble, you cut your losses. You find a different girlfriend.
Adam, why is he starting ahead of Phil Foden? For crying out loud. I'm almost in tears here, mate. Why is Phil Foden on the bench and this guy is starting? Why does this guy have a number 10 shirt from Sergio Aguero and Foden doesn't have it? Sergio Aguero said, if anybody's going to take my shirt, it has to be Phil Foden. Why is he having a shirt and not Phil Foden? Our Phil Foden, our stopper Iniesta, our jewel of the crown, the guy that rescued us against Spurs after the Champions League, the same kid. Why? In the final against Villa last season, why didn't Grealish start if it was so good? Because the manager knows. He knows. Why did he bring in the natural winger to score to help us get the assist? Because the manager deep inside him, he knows. But the arrogance, that's what's happening. I'm sorry, man. I can't. What hit me, man, was Phil Foden is on the bench. One starting 7, and Jack Grealish is starting ahead of him.
Yeah, and he's got.
And we're okay with that. We Mancunians are okay with that. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If it was up to me, I'd give number 10 to Ederson before even Grealish. I think he has more creativity than even Grealish. Right. I expect to see another assist from actually Ederson. But the reality is, people have to put this player obsession aside and decide, okay, which is more important, having satisfying a player's ego or your team winning, right? And it's just that, right? At the end of the day, you can say no. You can listen, right? As much as I don't rate Southgate, right, and I always say he's a bum manager. If he can see that this isn't the guy to get the job done, right, what more of Pep, who's of a higher caliber than him? Sometimes you just need to. That's why I always big up and Gundo's right, like big up to Ten Hag, right. I love managers like that who understand that, you know what, there's the big picture here, right? And we can always review that. Okay, we understand that at the end of the day, I always say that Grealish was a commercial signing more than anything.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Even him getting the number 10 jersey was just for shirt sales. It wasn't really for footballing. It wasn't really for footballing
because he didn't even expect it. The club just gave it to him. I think he said, right, "I didn't expect this jersey. I was looking for a certain jersey. I think he was looking for another jersey, but he was thinking he's going to get something else. But they decided to give him that."
Yeah, like forget even Foden. I was crying. Like rather have Palmer. I feel as if Palmer has a higher ceiling than Grealish, to be honest.
Facts. He does.
I'm thinking about on the wing as a winger. Man, whenever I see that Palmer kid, man, he excites me, man. He's the closest we have to Sané, and plus he's left-footed. And you see it, man. Milner had to get subbed off. Milner didn't finish the game.
Milner was injured because we put him in a spliff.
Milner got injured in that game. And that's a sign of a good winger, whereby the full back on the opposite side knows that they're going to have a total time.
Don't smoke. Patrick has a son called Edozie. Edozie is now at Southampton.
That kid is better than this wing as we have.
Thank you very much. And see, I know our fan base, right? If your player takes a player on and they dribble, like Saint Maximin, he may not be the greatest finisher, but he creates. He dribbles. He'll dribble you.
We can also talk about this person everyone was laughing at me at. Do you know what? Don't smoke. I posted Adama. I was like, oh my God, hear me out, just as a joke. But this is the thing. You guys don't get it.
Patrick is right, though.
We're missing power. At this point in time.
So Patrick is right, because let me ask a question to you guys out there, right? Okay. Adama's coming at you, or Jack is coming at you. Who do you fear the most?
Jack, I know he's gonna fall after it's
Traore.
Yeah. See, when Patrick said this first of all, I laughed, right? But then, I always think about what people say. And I went back and said, hey, wait a minute. If I have Adama bombing at me down the wing, or Jack bombing me down the wing, who am I going to be? As a defender, who am I afraid of? I'm scared of Adama. Because I know if I get it wrong, he's going to blow past me. And with his baby oil on his hands, I can't touch him. I'm going to slip, man.
You can't tackle him. You're not going to pull him down.
You can't pull him down because he has baby oil in his body.
Yeah, do you know people, this is what makes me laugh. People don't get that when some of us make these comments. It's after you've studied something and seen that there's something missing. Kopama is a baller. Kopama, what he did to Milner, I think Milner went to that kid and said, please don't do that or to me on TV again. on the pitch again. Cole Palmer was holding the ball, don't smoke. And you know what? He doesn't rush because there was a video. It's on the City channel, guys. Go and watch it on the Man City channel. Cole Palmer and Foden were talking. Do you know what Foden admitted? Don't smoke. He admitted that thing Pep says that he rushes things. Then do you know what he said to Cole Palmer? He's like, Cole Palmer, yeah, he says, Cole Palmer, I admire you. You are very calm. He's like, man, how are you so calm? Because Palmer, he picks a spot. You say he picks a spot, puts the ball there. But when he gets the ball, Palmer slows down, looks at you, and then skims you. You know what I mean? He dribbles proper. He doesn't rush anything. Yeah, he doesn't rush anything. Yeah. So do you know what? Even Cole Palmer could have had an assist in the Prem if what's his name did. Grealish missed, isn't it? Cole Palmer gave him the ball. He could have scored against Liverpool, one of the teams. I think Cole Palmer gave him the ball and he hit it over. But
you know what
that's
is
the thing.
You know what is, Patrick?
Yeah.
I spoke to Carl on the phone yesterday. And I was saying, look, you see other teams looking at it, say 6-month loan deal for Rafa Felix. I said, look, since we've got 2 wingers, we don't have direct wingers. I said to Carl, I gave Carl a scenario. I said to him, look, what as City in January, why don't we do this where, in a sense, say we get a loan deal for Felix.
Mm-hmm.
We get him for, per se, 6 months, in a sense.
Yeah, they're willing to give him out. Did you hear that, John Smoke? They're willing to give him out in January. They're willing to give him out.
That's what I'm saying. So we get him on loan. And if it doesn't work out, you could always send him back. And the other, I said to him, the option is we can get Rafa Leao as well. Yeah, but that Rafa Leao deal is probably more safe for the summer.
Yeah, it's expensive. That's a summer one. That's a summer one. That's a summer one.
So you get, like I say, a Felix on loan or another good midfield, another winger on loan, and say if it does not work out, you can always send them back. You always have the option of not signing them permanently. You know.
Do you remember?
But Adam, the problem is you already have everything you need in City. It's all there. Yeah. You have Palmer, you have Alvarez, you have Foden. You have everything you need there. Just play them.
Even Cancelo. If I was the manager,
Cancelo can play right. See, the reason why Cancelo's shirt is number 7 because he used to be a right winger.
Yeah.
Because he used to be a right winger. Play him there for crying out loud. If Mahrez is not playing well now, try something different. You have all the tools that you need. You have all the tools that you need. Do not be forced by this guy who, oh God, Lord have mercy, help me.
You know, it's Pep is somewhat say, if he does try something new and then it doesn't work out, he's got pie in his face. He's somewhat like reluctant to try something new.
He has enough credit in the bank. If he says to us, look, guys, Premier League this year, we're going to try many, many different things. Fine. We won it 4 or 5 times. I know many people want the three-peat. I don't care about the three-peat. Don't care. Arsenal have done well. Kudos to them. Great. They win it. Great. Fine. I want that Champions League. Why? Because we never won it. It's the only thing we haven't won. So why not go for it? Why not? Do everything in your power to win it. This year, guys, we have the fortune of having Liverpool play Real Madrid in a round of 16, not the quarterfinal, the round of 16.
And PSG play Bayern Munich.
We have PSG Bayern in the round of, so one of those two is going out. So the pathway opens up with some luck. With some luck. Oh my God. Maybe it's only me, man. Maybe I see things that people don't see. I perceive things that people don't perceive.
No. Look. I'm gonna hand you your credit because from the beginning you told us about these embedded wingers and we were very stubborn to see it. But to be honest with you, this is what I said. Do you remember? And you know, people keep laughing and don't smoke, and it's funny. Do you know why people laugh at Adama? Don't smoke, and they don't take him seriously. It's the muscles. You know that, right? It's the body. Yeah, and it doesn't finish. But let me tell you something. I was watching the game against United, and Adama Traore came on. They sprayed some baby oil on him. As always, he came on in his small shorts. Do you know what he did for Wolves? If Hernandez or the striker was on the bench, unfortunately, don't smoke. Within 5 minutes, Adama created about 7 chances into the box, but the guys couldn't finish. He went down the line. He pushed the fullback, and the United fullback was now sweating. He had a big issue now. He was the guy tried to push him. He was holding the fullback like this while crossing the ball, and the fullback could do nothing. He threw it in, but no. Even the guy said they should put on the striker right now. If the Wolves manager wants something, put on the striker, because all the assist to the striker seasons ago was for Madama Traore. That's the difference. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. I think Dan James was never bad. It was actually him going to United and being used by Audi. Dan James was looking good the time when City were trying to get him. Remember when he was younger, we played against him and those rumors City are trying to get him just to bring it in. People like Dan James are direct. They go direct. They run at you. That's what we need. And sometimes we need that. But I was just saying that we have the profile. The funny thing is, Pep is such a genius and he's somebody who risks things. I was thinking, Don't Smoke, that one day when he gave that 7 jersey, allowed Cancelo to take it, I thought Cancelo will one day show up as a winger. Because I'm telling you this right now, guys, all watching. Cancelo as a winger does more than Grealish and Mahrez. Have you seen Cancelo 1v1, Don't Smoke, the way he skins wingers?
Patrick, you see, what's the funny thing, right? This, for some reason, goes into my Jude argument, right? Most people look at a player when they play in a team where they have space, right? Because at Villa, Grealish has space. You see, when you have space, you look like you can dribble when you can't. Because all you do is you just push the ball into an open space and you've beat your man. Whereby the test of a dribbler is when you one-on-one or when you're against a low block, right? It's even the difference between Palmer and Foden. Foden's not really a dribbler. He's just good in tight spaces. So he evades situations. But Palmer is a dribbler. Cancelo are dribblers. Mahrez are dribblers. So against low blocks, you need these people who can subtract a person out. The problem with Grealish is he can't really dribble. He's just good in tight spaces. So same thing with Jude. These guys look good when they space. Once you need to basically break down a low block, you can't. Right. And that's when, if you can't dribble, you need at least width, like at least go down the line. That was Sterling. Sterling wasn't really much of a dribbler, but at least he used to go down the byline, which means he can stretch you and he has the pace. And right, we get Jude. I won't be surprised if we're having these conversations as well. Like, no, this guy, he can't beat a man. What? This is what you get when you just follow players based on hype.
Yeah, but I'm starting to have this funny feeling, and it's unfortunate. I'm having this strong funny feeling, Carl, because it looks like Liverpool feel defeated. Most times when Liverpool feel defeated, right now, I don't think with Tchouameni and Camavinga, Madrid will be going on for somebody big profile like Jude. Liverpool seem defeated, Carl, with the Jude stories. I am having a strong feeling, Carl, and I know it's unfortunate, but I have a strong feeling with what I'm looking at. I think that kid is heading towards this end because of his best friend Haaland, and he wants to play under Pep Guardiola. I saw an article saying Jude admires Pep Guardiola. So you know how Pep twerks for him every time after Dortmund. I have a feeling that's who, even though they might sign in Maximo Peron, I think they're just signing Maximo Peron, the same thing as Alvarez. We sign a big star, then we sign a small star. Hopefully it all works out. But look, I wanted to say one thing. I have a feeling that's what City have done. I have a feeling that it is close, the secret one, as Dortmund like that. I think Dortmund and City like each other. You know that, right? The relationship is great. You told me during the Haaland thing, saying, Patrick, be careful. Dortmund and City like each other. We like sending our kids to Dortmund without any hassle. We don't put any extra costs. We just give them. I think they would review these secret clauses. Remember, nobody knew there was a clause for Haaland, and Dortmund taught City instead. You know what I mean? They taught City because
there's probably a clause for that.
Yeah, there's a clause. Somebody says it's 60, it's 60, 70 million. So I bet you that's why I think Liverpool look like have just given up. They're going tails elsewhere because now they're also looking at Nunes from Wolves, but Liverpool is selling it like this. They're saying, Jude is too expensive for us. We're going towards Nunes from Wolves. They want him back. But I wanted to say something, guys, before we close. I want your opinion from Bundo, Adam, and Don. What's your opinion on Bernardo Silva with his recent statement?
If I may start that conversation, if you don't mind, I would like to start it. I mean, everything Bernardo Silva said, Bernardo Silva said nothing wrong. Let's be clear, okay? What he said is, hey, look, I've been here for 7 years, okay? 7 years, not 1, not 5, not 6, 7 years. I want to finish up my career at Benfica. That's my home, okay? I'd love to do, and I have another 3 years. I'd love to do the 3 years, right? But the club wants to give me a 5-year contract. If they give me a 5-year contract, I cannot go back to Benfica until I'm age 34 or something like that. I'm too old. So do something for me so I can do 10 years and then I can leave on a free to Benfica. There's nothing wrong with that. Why are people crying? He's not from Manchester, guys. He's from Portugal. That's his home. If Phil Foden was at Real Madrid and he says, hey, I want to go back to England when I'm 32 to play for a club, why do we feel entrenched to have the player not say anything because he plays for us? No. As long as he performs, fine. He can speak what he wants to speak. Get on the field and perform. The one that's not performing and speaking, what do we do about it? So for me, I don't care. If they want to sell him in summertime, good. Find somebody else. If he wants to do a 3-year contract and it gets till they'll do 10 years like Fernandinho and company did, good. Give him a testimonial. Then he goes to Benfica on a free. I'm happy. 7 years, Patrick. He's done. 7 years. Now, that's my soapbox, man. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with what he said. In my opinion, though. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think, as I'm saying, at times I just don't understand people, man. At the end of the day, man, these are professionals. And you first need to look out for your best interest. Right, first. So no one complains when someone leaves one company because they got a better offer somewhere else, or they feel as if I've been here long enough and I want to try something new, a new challenge, right? But when it comes to football, people now seem to have some sort of weird entitlement, as if someone has to finish their career at one club. But man, hence normally people like that are considered cult heroes and what. And at the end of the day, Bernardo has paid his dues, right? He came here, he's won us trophies, he's given his 100% always on the field. I don't think there's anything more that Bernardo needs to do to prove himself. And what's even funny is the guy has been open about it that he's been trying to leave for the past God knows how many years. Like, what's surprising about him telling you that, you know what, this is how I want to leave? No, at the end of the day, it's different if he's not coming to training, he's not performing on the field, and then he's like, no, the guy's just saying that, no, this is where I'd like to be, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. Let the guy go if he wants to go, man.
You know what it is, Carl? You know it's like similar to when we had Negredo and who Jesus Navas or something like that.
No, it's this is Nolito.
Yeah, Nolito, sorry. They were homesick. That's what Bernardo Silva is in a sense. He's homesick. He misses his home, and he wants to go back home.
Listen, for those who don't understand, right? You have to. I mean, where this guy comes from in Portugal, the sun is always shining. It's always warm. Now, I know Manchester's a lovely place, but the weather is shit, man. Let's be clear. The weather is terrible. I was in London for a few days this weekend. It was just gray and rainy, man. It's terrible weather. He's been there 7 years. 7 years. And he says, give me 3 more in my contract and leave. I'll leave. Fine. I mean, that's not a big deal. You think Haaland's going to be there for 15 years? You think Alvarez is going to be there for 15 years? What are we talking about here, guys? Come on. Seriously. He wants to go, good. Let him go. Find a replacement that's good enough to come in. Play in the right position. We move, we roll. It's not hard.
He did say he wants to go back to Benfica at
Yeah.
the age of 32. So
32.
he says his contract, when he's done, it's going to be done at the age of 31. So basically, he is hinting that he doesn't want the 5-year contract, basically.
Yeah. I mean, he's done 7 years, Patrick. He wants another 5 years? And he's going to be 34? He's saying, no, I don't want a 5-year contract. Give me a 3 so I can leave for Benfica on a free. That's 10 years. Fernandinho's 10 years. We give him a free. Company 10 years gave him a free. Aguero 10 years gave him a free. Why is Bernardo Silva different? 10 years. Come on, guys. Why do we do this? Why do we do this, man? Honestly, as a fan base. Seriously, we don't, problem is we react, we don't think about what somebody's saying. We just react. Oh, he's come out again. I sack him, get rid of him. No, put yourself in his shoes. Think about if it was your son or your brother or your husband, right? 7 years at a club, you've given your all. You say, I want to go back home for free in 3 years' time. Let him go. Let him go for free. 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. So on that note, guys, we're gonna close it. Thanks for being with us. It's been 1 hour 40 minutes.
What a show!
Guys,
a show! Let's clap for
yeah,
Patrick.
yeah.
What a show, Patrick!
I gotta
clap for you, man.
Wow. It's all on us. It's all on us, man. At least we came here and spoke the truth. If people don't like the truth, it's up to them. We said it at the beginning. At the end of the day, guys, as I said, when I started off this channel, I didn't start this channel to be liked. It was where opinions matter. That's the reason why I always bring a lot of people. Everybody's invited. Even if you're somebody who's against everything that has been said here today, you are invited. Come on. I'll give you even 2 hours of you to speak on this channel and say whatever you want to say, as long as it's respectful. That's what it is. At the end of the day, we have to say the truth. Don't sit there and just accept things just for the sake that, let's not say this against her. At the end of the day, I said it in my status. I am looking forward to 2023. I believe in the boys. I also believe in the manager. But I think sometimes it's good to give a bit of opinion on something or a bit of feedback. Say, look, what we're doing is not working out. Certain things are not great. We need to change if we have to compete. That's what we're doing, competing. I don't think City as a club is investing in Haaland, investing in all these people so that they can be easily losing games on mistakes that can be fixed easily by the bench. If you see that Rodri is tired, why don't you bring in Phillips? Why did Phillips be signed for the team? For him to be just smiling in pictures at training? If you see that Ake is not creative, guess what? As much as you people hate Gomez, I have been watching a lot of you saying Gomez is the worst signing of City, which is quite funny. Gomez hasn't done anything. This is his first season. He's just young, 21 years old. Gomez was the what was he named again? What is his nickname, Carl? Assist King, isn't it? If Everton are parking the bus, why don't you bring in Gomez and Gomez starts pinging in low crosses, which he assisted. By the way, Gomez has an assist against Nottingham Forest to Haaland. That's an assist for Gomez, and Gomez has only played full games more than Mahrez and Grealish. I want you to think about that. Gomez has an assist in this league, while he only played one full game against Nottingham Forest. So, guys, that's all it is. Guys, till next time, we'll see you. We might do the Man City versus who are we playing again? I even forgot. Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. We might do that review depending if we've got time. But guys, thank you for watching, and like the vid if you enjoy. If you didn't enjoy the vid, you can dislike it. There's also a dislike button, I think so, somewhere. But anyway, guys, thank you for all the guys who are in the comments. Daniel, Samir, Richard, everybody, all the guys, Josh, everybody, Twisted, Veda Games, Ray, everybody in the comments, guys. I wish I can go at Daniel. I think I already mentioned name. Red Devil Down Under. Everyone, guys, was in the comments. YSK, big up to you. City Fan TV, big up to you. Don't Smoke, big up to you for jumping on. Carl, big up to you for jumping on. I know it's too early. Big up to you, Adam, for coming on. Twisted, big up to you. Eddie, big up to you. And everybody in the comments and who was watching, thank you very much, guys. I hope you're having a new year. Charlie, big up to you. Bernardo would have gone last summer, but no one came in for him, so no one could afford him. Yeah, it's very hard to afford a profile player like Bernardo Silva. Even if they come for him right now with 2 years left, I think you're still paying 60+ million for Bernardo Silva. So it's not easy. Let me just read this comment. It said, the real truth, by the time we wake up, the league will already be gone. You never know, man. Today is the 3rd of January. If they wake up right now, as Don Smoke says, they start putting the right players in, we win the next games and we start a win. You never know. Trust in the team. Obviously, they'll get it right. And I hope we see more of Alvarez, Palmer, and Foden, and even Cancelo. Bring back Walker. Why are we keeping Walker and Cancelo on the bench? Laporte is injured. Ruben is injured. I hope Akanji wakes up, because Akanji also has been making very silly mistakes. But as Don Smoke says, you never care about defense as long as you outscore the other team, which is great. You have to outscore. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And Charlie, big up to you, man. Thank you very much. And guys, till next time. Bye-bye.